Welcome to our virtual class. By the way, I'm Jamalia De Enero and I'm your MAPI teacher this morning. Our topic this morning class is all about media-based arts and design in the Philippines, or print media. This is our objectives. A discusses the importance of print and digital media in the Philippines. B analysis the importance of print and digital media in Philippines. C create simple design of advertising. Print media. Alongside the digital media forms discussed above, there remains the more conventional form known as print media. Included here are large-scale publications such as newspapers, magazines, journals, books of all kinds, as well as small-scale posters, brochures, flyers, menus, and the like. Of course, all of these now have their digital counterparts that may be accessed and read on the internet. However, there are countries to be demand and a purpose for the cultural actual printed forms of these materials, and whether printed on paper or viewed on the web. These materials once again involve the showcase Filipino artistry. So this is the example of print media. Advertising. The major field that still relies heavily on print media is advertising. Despite the soaring popularity and seemingly limitless possibilities of online advertising and social media, Philippine artists are still called upon to create advertisements that will be physically printed. These appear in newspapers, magazines, posters, brochures, and flyers, each with their specific target relationships and markets, and highly specialized approach for reaching these target groups. So this is the example of different types of advertising method. Along with the advertising copywriters who provide the text for titles, taglines, and body copy, an entire team of modern-day art professionals creates the look of each ad. This range from art directors to photographers to graphic designers to illustrators if the ad subject requires it. The theme may further include food and product stylish, fashion stylish, hair and makeup artist, set and lighting designers, all for the purpose of creating an advertisement that will appear on a printed page or in a format that will be handed out to potential customers. Comic books. Another field of print media that highlights the artistic gift of Filipinos is that comic books or comics, as they are referred to locally. The popularity of Philippine comics began in the 1920s when Liwayway magazine started featuring comic strips such as mga kabalbala ni Kinkoy, The Misadventures of Kinkoy, created by Tony Velasquez. Velasquez went on to be recognized as the father of Filipino comics. This is the example of comics. With the coming of the Americans to the country, local comics were clearly influenced by popular U.S. comics with superheroes as the main characters, resulting in local counterparts such as Darna and Captain Barbell. Even decades before, however, comics creators had already introduced characters, themes, and storylines from Philippine folklore, mythology, and history, with books and libraries not yet readily accessible to a majority of the Filipino public. Comics become a major form of reading materials around the country, avidly read the shared by young and cold alike. Filipino comics artists also become recognized for their talents both locally and overseas. Thus, from the 1960s to the 1980s, Filipino artists were recruited to work for foreign comics publishers. Among them, the highly popular DC Comics, a more recent development in the Philippine comics scene, being the rise of comics series reflecting or commenting on current political and social issues or on the Filipino character in a humorous way. One such series is the long-running Pugad Baboy, created by Paul Medina Jr. The phenomenal rise of digital media in recent decades, however, the local comics industry seems to take a backseat, but there is a current resurgence of interest, not only among comics readers and collectors, but among Filipino artists and illustrators, creating original concepts and experimenting with exciting new styles. There is now an entire range of subjects, characters, formats, and artistic treatments available for aspiring young comics artists to bring to life. So the following are just a sampling of the responsibilities. So this is the example of comics. Book design and illustration. Yet another extremely rich and promising area for young Filipino artists is the field of book design and illustration. Thanks to the visionary mindsets of progressive Philippine book publishers such as Bookmark, Anvil Publishing, Adarna Books, and Tahanan ng for young readers, now ilaw ng Tahanan Publishing. Local book designers and illustrators have been given the professional stature they deserve and the creative freedom they need to truly showcase their talents. Ang Tuta Nino by Virgilio S. Almario, illustrated by Sergio Bumatay III. How Long Till September by Tanya Sevilla Simon, illustrates by Jel Arwin Posadas, Who's by Glenda Oris, illustrated by Aldi Aguirre. Mahabang mahaba ay by Gennaro Goho Cruz, illustrated by Gani Manduino. But that one make up by Annie Denise Lumbao and Anelka Lumbao, illustrated by Lisa Flores, published by Adarna Books. So this is the example of the book design. Tuta Nino ay by Virgilio S. Almario, illustrated by Sergio Bumatay III. How Long Till September by Tanya Sevilla Simon, illustrated by Jill Arwin Poradas. Digital media, the artistic skills and techniques that go into producing books like those just presented of course have their counterpart in the ever-growing world of digital media. This means that books that were originally available only in print are being gradually converted to digital format, while now books are now conceptualized, written designs, and illustrated precisely for those online media. This also means that the manner by which today's readers can find, access, and enjoy these electronic books or e-books is via digital media tablets, e-book readers, and other handheld reading devices. One such device that is available locally is the e-book reader called Kobo, which features international as well as Philippine titles. Innovation in product and industrial design. Another breakthrough arena for Filipino imagination, ingenuity, and innovatives is recent decades has been that of design, especially this encompasses product and industrial design as applied to furniture, lighting, and interior accessories, as well as fashion from haute couture to bridal and symbols to casual wear. As a result, a number of Filipino designers have risen to superstardom both locally and internationally. Kenneth Cobonpo. Kenneth Cobonpo is a multi-awarded designer and a creative director of Hive, a design and manufacturing facility for designers of interior accessories and lighting. Cobonpo's fresh and exciting concepts and excellent craftsmanship have earned him the acclaim and the patronage of discerning clientele and world over, including prominent Hollywood celebrities. Also hailing from Cebu City, Filipina fashion designer Monique Lullier first rose to prominence for her exquisite wedding gowns, but she has since become one of the darlings of the Hollywood celebrity set, with several A-list stars having worn her couture creations to gala events and award shows as well as to their own weddings. Lollier studied at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in Los Angeles and now has her own retail boutiques in the city and in New York. Her collections include bridal and bridesmaids, dresses, ready-to-wear, evening gowns, linens, tableware, stationery, and home fragrance. So this is the example of their design. Name that has a prestigious place in the New York fashion industry is that of Jose Natore, born Josepina Almeida Cruz in Manila. This Filipino-American fashion designer began her career as an investment banker before she made the dramatic shift to creating her own lines of lingerie, resorts, and loungewear, as well as semi-formal and casual attire. She went on the she went to establish the Natori company that has built up a lifestyle brand that today includes 4 lingerie lines, the Natori ready-to-wear collections, home accessories, fragrance, and eyewear. This is the example of their design. Rahul Laurel, probably best known to the general public as a judge on the television series Project Runway Philippines. Rahul Laurel is a much admired Filipino fashion designer with a number of national and international awards to his name. He trained at New York's Fashion Institute of Technology and at Central St. Martin's in London. Laurel is also a savvy entrepreneur, establishing House of Laurel and Rahul Laurel Enterprise. His creations maintain a Filipino sensibility, incorporating embroidery, beadwork, and hand-printed prints, while also offering the prestige of limited edition pieces. Thus, he has gained a loyal local following and the attentions of the international. So Laurel also pioneered the social enterprise known as Rags to Riches. This organization enables women from poor communities across the country to earn through creating fashion and home accessories out of upcycled scrap clothes organic materials, and indigenous fabrics. Today, rags to riches have evolved into an eco-ethnical lifestyle brand. So, this is the fashion designer. Next is Lulu Tangun, known for her fashionable nightwear lines since 1985. Lulu Tangun had been dubbed the Queen of Nightwear in the country. That specialty has since evolved into a new hand-woven line called Indigenous Couture that blends Philippine artisan crafts, fabrics, fibers, and other local materials with Tangan's signature's contemporary lifestyle dressing. And Dico Ong, another Philippine designer who has been advocating the use of local weaving techniques and natural fibers, is Dita Sandico Ong, known as the wrap artiste of the Philippines for her famous bold colored wraps. Sandico Ong first experimented with the local wave of Ilocosur, known as Enabel, as well as with pineapple fibers blended with iris linen, dubbed pinalino. From there, she tried over local fibers, particularly abaca, which has introduced to by Weber and entrepreneur Virgilio Apante. Sandico Ong has since been working with a multi-purpose cooperative in Catanduanes, training them in natural dye extraction and advanced weaving techniques for abaca. Today, her collection includes wraps or panuelos, as well as boleros, jackets, and long tunics of banana fiber and abaca. Her designs are presented in fashion shows around the world and are sold in high-end shops in major international cities. So, any clarification, suggestions about our topic this morning? So, if none, thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel at, at www.gaitf.com. And don't forget to open your LCMS. Thank you.